one problem or the other, whether it is politicians defecting to a new party or it is the president of US of A giving an ultimatum on the death of Christians in the country. Good morning and welcome to Morning Jade. Let's talk on J11.9 FM. My name is Umis Daniel Chukwemeka. It's exciting to be here again. It's beautiful to have you at the other end of the radio listening to us today. I hope your weekend was beautiful, and I hope that in the conversations you were engaged in over the weekend, they were as fruitful as they should be. And also, I also hope that your angers were not raised to the highest heavens, because on social media this weekend, I saw people who I thought were calm lose their cool. Anyways, I'm not alone today. I've got the man who has consistently been controversial and has said things the way they should be said. Sometimes I think they should have beaten it by now, but Lola has protected him so far.
Well, you know you're more controversial than I am.
You are controversial.
But you're more controversial. Good morning, Emeka. Good morning, listener. It's a pleasure to be on this very side. And of course, getting you to be on the other divide is one interesting one. It's Monday, the 3rd day of November 2025. Well, we still want to say Happy New Month to you. And I believe, the month is surely one of those you've planned and gotten it straight. Lots of issues went down during the weekend. From Friday, the judgments that went down, out of favor for the late Ochanya, Ogbaje, that actually raised a lot of concern. A girl who was raped at the age of 8, being a minor, and still died as a minor, at the age of 8 when the brother was caught, reported to the father. The father continued from where the brother stopped, and it went on and on. The girl lost her life, at that point. But the judgment went in favor of the rapists instead. In a chat that actually went viral, where the sister of the guy and also the daughter of the man, when they came out to talk, what happened? The girl actually told her friend that truly this happened, but she can't afford to see her father, and her brother go to jail, that these are the only people she have. Now, is it about emotions or what the law of the land says? I wonder what exactly would have made this case go the way it is. This is a clear-cut case. Somebody is there as a witness to actually see that this thing happened. At the age of 8, was there actually an autopsy that was run on her after she died? If there was, what does the autopsy result say? You understand?
Yeah.
All of these things together.
I think that I honestly did not follow the case as much as I should have. I saw snippets of it online, and again, one of the things personally I have tried to stay out of are issues of domestic violence and gender-based violence. I've got personal experiences, so I usually try to stay off them. But the law is not perfect, and it's one of the things that I find very questionable about the law. Just to segue a little, some days ago I was thinking, who created the law? They were humans, right? And if humans created the law, it therefore means that the law is flawed.
Of course.
If the law is flawed, how do we fix a flawed law? Same humans. I don't know the case presented before the courts. I do not know the evidence presented before the courts, but I know that one of the biggest problems a lot of rape victims have dealt with is that it is a bit difficult to prove rapes in courts, especially when certain evidence are not provided.
Because sometimes it's done in secrecy.
Yes, it's done in secrecy. There's also the question you asked, whether it's about emotions or about the law. We believe that the law is not emotional. But I also think that one of the naive ideas that we sometimes have about the law is that it is perfect, and that our cultural beliefs and misnomers not affect how judgments are being passed. Again, I do not know what the case presented before the court was. I do not understand I don't know what the evidence was. But I also know that, okay, this word is going to be used loosely here because people have bastardized the word. But I also know that misogyny also plays a role in how we view things. The idea that certain people are beneath others because of their sex or their gender also affects how we view things. But this is sad. It is sad for every child out there. It is sad for every person out there who consistently feels underrepresented, unprotected, who feels harmed because they exist as a gender, male or female. It also gives some level of credence to incest, some level of credence to sexual violations done by people closest to you. I'm hoping that the family of this girl, which is weird because the family that even messed it did this whole stuff, but I hope the other family members of this girl who is late right now would find peace. I'm hoping also that they do not take the law into their hands, because It's hard not to.
But Emeka, this is a lady who actually seeked education. You know, she left her family just to go and seek education in her uncle's house, and the uncle molested her. Not just the uncle, her cousin also molested her. And you get to ask yourself, what do you find attractive in an 8-year-old girl?
Nothing.
Another big question you get to ask yourself, what do you find attractive in an 8-year-old girl that you have to go to that very extent, that very length to do whatever you did? It is it's so unfortunate that we are in a country where, you know, sometimes when judgment is being passed, you ask yourself, who is this judge at first? You know, and these things like this have made people lose interest, you know, in even going to court. People prefer to handle issues themselves, you know, going other ways, other means to actually do it. Because judgments like this have not shown enough credence, have not shown so much, sincerity.
Yes.
And of course, justice has not taken its course. Now, you can see
I don't.
on
Sorry
social
to
media.
cut you short.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Before Donald Trump tweeted what he tweeted, that was a story making the rounds on social media until Trump tweeted. Now, why am I saying this? I think this is a concern to every Nigerian whose child is not living with them.
Yes.
A very huge concern for them. Because whether you like it or not, we are talking about a child here. No one knows what this child would have become in the future.
It's quite hard.
You understand? So I think whatever it is, the law should actually be the law. Was there a rape case? Nobody would just wake up and say they've raped her.
But again,
You know,
what was the evidence provided?
I was not
That's
even
the
there.
thing.
I was not there. But for people to have actually come out to say justice for Ochanya, it means one way or the other. Because the lady has said it with her mouth. The sister has confirmed. But her sister in court, she failed her law school examination. So she was not even called to bar, funny enough. I think let's switch to the People's Democratic Party, where suspension upon suspension is what we see every day.
Yeah, the People Democratic Party consistently and have continuously been in the news for reasons that I don't think any one of us would like. For a party, like I've often said, that was supposedly the biggest party on the continent, for a party that ruled Nigeria for a very long time, for a party that provided, some would say, some of the best years of Nigeria under democratic rule. It is sad and it is disheartening that they're where they are. But like I've mentioned before, I think the troubles in the PDP, from the Wike faction to the Makinde faction, which is kind of shocking, because one would expect that, given the dominance of the All Progressive Congress in the country, given how much power they have right now at the federal level, as well as in the Senate and the House of Reps, the PDP should be consolidating and finding ways to strengthen its resolve and strengthen its base in the country. But instead, it is mired in internal politics and internal disagreement. The elders of the party, like I've mentioned before, should have to do more. I am one person that believes that democracy thrives on honesty, that democracy rather thrives on choices, and I do not think that the PDP and its leaders and its elders, specifically its elders, have given its party enough choices for them to choose. So, for example, one of the biggest problems they've had is the zoning of, leadership in the party, zoning of who should contest for certain positions, which for me should not even happen. I had a conversation with somebody on Saturday on air when I had a show, and somebody said, does zoning really, does he expand our conversations about democracy? If democracy is, politics for the people or leadership for the people by the people, if we then zone it, are we not in some way reducing politics to our personal opinion? And my response to that was, because of our multi-ethnic background and how much we have different people from different places, and we do not want to annoy people, and also because of a very unfortunate history with the civil war we experienced in 1996, there is a need for us to have everybody on the table. That is why it only happens. But for me, I think the PDP would have to earn their place again. They would have to stamp their feet on the ground and say, this is what should be done. But here's where we are. We've consistently been in this merry-go-round for years. This is not the first time it's happening. But what is making it worse is that we now have a party in power in the APC who seem very concentrated or concerned about decimating anything that has to do with another political party. Some people once argued, sorry Richard, that we are not getting to a one-party state. And my question is, How do you define a one-party state when the opposition party is being systematically decimated from within? How do you explain a one-party system when there is no opposition? We say the beauty of democracy is that we have opposition voices. If the opposition voices, in this case the PDP, are decimated, what options do we have? Democracy needs opposition parties, not just opposition voices. And if these parties are destroyed, then I think what we define as democracy is null and void.
I think the Tinubu regime has done a lot of good in destroying the voices of oppositions, in Nigeria. Take a look at what's happening at the National Assembly. Every week when you see one person defecting or more. Beside that, again, you see people from different political parties. And this defection is not as if one person is people are defecting to different political parties. No, they're all moving to one party. Meanwhile, we have 18 registered political parties in this very country at the moment. Beside that, again, INEC is trying to register, I think, about 6 of them, to make it 24. Now, this, with what we're seeing with the People's Democratic Party, the question here is, will they be able to solve their crisis before November 30? It is the big question. Now, people are forgetting the fact that there are other political parties. Now, with other political parties, yes, who are these people managing these political parties? Just like the Labour Party, before 2022, if someone told you the Labour Party will come third in the general election in 2023, you will say no.
Sure.
You will never expect or believe it. But the people say their vote must count. Their vote must be loud. Today, who does the Labour Party has beside Governor Oti of Abia State?
No, brother.
You understand?
Even the people they voted into the House of Reps and Senate, they don't leave them.
Asama gone, Santos gone, Kingibe gone. Like, mention them. They've all left. And now, because they've all left at this very point, now because they've all left, you can't actually lay your hands to the fact that this is exactly what is happening. Whether we like it or not, we have multiple political parties, but just 2 political parties are well known in Nigeria. Is either the APC or the PDP. If the PDP is being destroyed today, it has, whether we like it or not, it has led us to a one-party state, which is bad for any democracy. People have their choices to make. Sorry, the people have their choices to make, but these other political parties, are they even ready to even be in the race? It's not about going to buy, to get presidential candidates, flagging presidential candidates, come for election at the end of the day. No, it's beyond that. Are you ready to actually be part of the race? SDP, sometime last year when El-Rufai got into the party, it was more like the latest thing in town.
A hot kick.
But today, where is SDP?
I don't know. Don't talk about them anymore.
After elections, you don't get to hear about many of these political parties. I think it is time for them to start creating awareness so that the people will know they exist.
I think that while you were speaking, I remember that at one point PDP was very dominant, and then we had the ACN. I think they had like different, they evolved over the years. ACN. Then we also had Richard? What was that Buhari's party before he joined?
The CP. Is it the CPC?
CPC, yes. Right. So we had CPC, we had ACN, we had PDP, but the PDP was very dominant, and we also had these small parties, who just took 1 or 2 seats in the house. And then somebody said, we cannot let the PDP continue to dominate, because trust me, if that merger hadn't happened, the PDP would have been very dominant, even though we saw that other parties were trying to pull their weight. So I think that at this point, the other smaller parties should come together to pull their weight and say, let's merge. But the problem is, in 2015, when we had that election, some of these smaller parties said they were going to merge together. I remember the conversation. Then Oby Ezekwesili was one of those people, one of those very, let me use the word loosely here, mushroom parties. We had a very popular motivational speaker, Philadelphia Otoye, who still annoys me till today, had his own political party. We also had Omoyele Sowore. All of these guys said, let us come together. Let us form a merger so we can present a united front against the APC and the PDP.
Sorry, just a minute, Emeka. I guess, he's on his way coming, but he has said he will join via phone call before he comes in, before he joins the program fully physically. So we'll surely be starting, with the phone line before he joins in order for us to save time. He chose this way. He actually went to one other, sister station before he would join us here, for the program proper. Talking about no other person but Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, who will be live with us on J101.9 FM. Back to you, Mega.
Yes, like I was saying, these other parties could not merge because of personal interest, and some also argued that the All Progressive Congress ensured that these people were planted as moles in these parties to distract us from what was ahead. So again, we need people, politicians and everyday Nigerians who have Nigeria at heart. Now, the reason why we often talk about a one-party system is not because constitutionally it has been approved, but we know that when there are no oppositions and only one party dictates everything that happens, there's no voice to dissent. There's no voice to argue for and against whatever the political party says. So, for example, in the House of Reps, ideally, we are supposed to have opposition, voices, maybe 60% or 40% that would argue against whatever bill, whatever law the ruling party wants to have. But now that this representatives and senators are pitching their tents away from the parties that voted them into power, it means that when any bill is put forth in the House, it will pass the reading without any question. And that is not how democracy works. But again, like I mentioned, if the other political parties, these smaller political parties, understand the dire situation we are in, they would come together in a round table and ask themselves critical questions. Do we want one party to be in charge all through, or do we want to pose a credible competition to this party? For the PDP, I'm hoping it doesn't get decimated completely, because if it does, I think it's bad for us.
But do you think they can actually restore themselves?
I think they can. I think they can. I think that the PDP can find a solution.
Because the expiration of Damagum NWC ends on the 30th of this month. And if that ends, Emeka, what makes up the People's Democratic
Party?
No
party.
There's
no leadership. There's no party.
There's no party. And that, of course, will affect the structure of the party. It surely means everyone will leave the party, and it means the PDP is dead. Well,
and I don't think that will happen. I don't think that would happen. I think that as a people, we've gone through so much. I think ideally as Nigerians, we are built for resilience. We are very resilient people. So that might come to play for the PDP. But I also believe that the elders of the party would have to sit down. I don't want to call his name, but I have to. Nyesom Wike would have to be brought to the table and spoken to, not as an elder statesman. And I've said it here before, and I think some weeks ago, I do not think he has carried himself as an elder statesman. However, the old heads of the PDP would have to, those retired, those who have pitched their tent, those who have said, I'm done with the PDP, would have to, for the sake of the country, for the sake of the party that brought them to power and gave them some of the things they've enjoyed, would have to say, you know what, whatever I said before, whatever letters I submitted before, let's ditch that and come together as elders. The Obasanjos of this world, the Atikus of this world,
the Jonathan of the world.
Jonathan of this world, they would have to come together now, because if the party dies, I do not see any of these smaller parties, for want of a better word, who can take up the reins of opposition. Labour Party tried, but they couldn't even do that for 2 years because of internal politics. And so we need somebody or a party that is experienced enough. The reason the APC is this strong is because they had an experienced ACN and an experienced CPC come together. Politics doesn't happen in one day. It needs structures. It needs people that understand the game, how it is played, and how to maneuver the game. Well, and if the PDP dies, I think the other options we have is the APC and the others.
All right, so let's move away now from that very issue, of course, to the topic of the day, where the President of the United States of America, no other person but President Donald Trump, has designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, which has generated, lots of reactions from various individuals from different groups, and mixed reactions from Nigerians, especially. For some, for Donald Trump, he said if the government of Nigeria does not do anything, I think he will come. He will send. He's asking the Department of War to get ready for whatever will come forth, and that has actually made Nigerians now, begin to think, what exactly is Donald Trump's thoughts on this very issue? Does he actually want now? The problem is about the Christian genocide that has been happening, according to lots of people. And of course, is there a Christian genocide? For me as a person, for me as an individual, I would tell you, yes, there is a Christian genocide. The numbers are there. Yes, people are being killed in other parts of the country. People are being killed in the north. People are being killed in other, no doubt, Muslims are being killed. But when statistics actually come your way, what you get to see in Christian communities are not just 10 numbers, are not 5, are not 7. You understand? What you get, like the Dogona Awa, for example, where 510 lives were claimed in 2010. Emeka, 205 people were killed in Yellow-Water just this year. Over 200 people died during the Christmas Eve,
Yes.
between
In
Mangu
2020,
and Bokos.
Yeah, 2023,
Again,
2024.
Yes. Before then, there were killings before the swearing in of Barrister Caleb Manasseh Woodfang in Mangu local government. Now, take the number statistics down to Riom local government. How many people have died?
Land,
Approximately from 2010 till now, approximately over 7,000 Christians have lost their lives. That's a very huge number. And if we continue in this light, this is land grabbing per se, and it's all genocide happening because no one is attacking anybody. I've heard the NSA at some point, say that it is a communal clash. Which two communities are fighting? Please, you should tell us what are the names of the communities fighting themselves. It's just a simple question. What are the names of the communities fighting themselves? Where on earth is this a communal clash? What do you mean by it's a communal clash? Who is fighting? Is the Biroman fighting the Alagutaban? No. The communities on the plateau are living with themselves peacefully. But who are those people invading and causing a lot of reactions have come on that Donald Trump don't need to come, whatever. But the question there is, has our government ever made an effort to stop this? No. The answer is a big no.
They have.
They've never made any effort to make it. Prove me wrong. Tell me where they make effort, and I'll tell you what happened again. In that very space. You're talking about, people who want to tell you that. I agree. The Muslims are being attacked too. Now there are people that are not core Islamists. There are people that are not core Islam. What I mean, they are not core. They are not believing the fact that people's life must be taken, for certain reasons, just like that. Don't you think those are the people that are affected? Do you think it's just any of them? No. We have people today that will tell you, in fact, there are certain places in the far north you cannot go. There are places you can't step your feet in. At some point in Jos, and Warogo is not a place a Christian will wish to follow. What are we talking about here? So the numbers are there, the figures are there. Not fighting anyone, but reality check tells us that as it stands currently, there is a Christian genocide. I don't know. North Central especially have suffered more of it. The numbers are showing. Just last week when we were talking here, after we spoke for some, I think it was on Thursday or so, there was an attack in Riom and Barikin Ladi.
Yes.
And also Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, claiming a total of 17 lives. Are these 17 lives not worth it? Do you think any resources we have in Nigeria today is worth any of these 17 lives? Who control the resources? The humans does.
All right. First, I think that, like you mentioned, a lot of Christians have been killed. The numbers, like you also said, do show that Christians have been killed. In 2023, I think there was a research that was done in Nigeria, and the Christians, let me get the numbers so I do not model them up. The number of Christians killed, according to this research, 16,767 Christians were killed. In that time frame, I think was between 2019 and 2023, we had 6,235 Muslims killed and 154 adherents of traditional African religions were killed, while we had 7,722 victims we don't know their religion. So, like you mentioned, the numbers show that Christians are being killed. Now, the numbers obviously do not lie. One of the things I've said here before, the framing of a Christian genocide, to me, puts a divide in the conversation. Not saying it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is I do not want us to get to the point where it becomes an A versus B thing. Because when it becomes an A versus B thing, we take away logic, we take away common sense, and we put our religious belief in front. Secondly, you said that the government isn't trying. No, the government is trying as best as they can. However,
in what form have they tried it? I don't want to sugarcoat this. Let's come out.
They have sent troops. They've sent
sent troops to where?
They've sent troops to Plateau State, haven't they?
How have those troops helped the situation?
Good. Now that's where I'm coming to.
So what effort have they made?
It is one thing. So they've made the effort. Whether those efforts have yielded results are two different things. But they have made the effort. There is a level of honesty, at least from the top echelons of the military, to say, we want this to end. However, the sabotaging of this effort is not because the government isn't trying. It is because certain people within the system do not want it to work. The other time when, we had one of those journalists who was in Bukos and Beyond talk, he said that the military officials said to them, if you guys did not give us, levies, we are not going to protect you. Now, that is not the government's fault. If the government and, the generals have said to these guys, go and protect these people, and they do otherwise, we can't solely blame it on the government. We'd have to blame it on the people within the system who are sabotaging the efforts of the government. Can the government do more? Yes, they can. But I think it's dishonest of us to say the government isn't trying. We can say they are not doing enough to protect us, but they are trying as best as they can. We also should not forget that whatever report the presidency gets, he gets it from his service chiefs. It is whatever the service chiefs tell him that he believes. He's not on ground here in Plateau. He's not in Benue. He's not in Kaduna to see all of this himself.
Sorry, I will cut you here. First of all, the president visited Benue State after Yelwata, after the 205 people were killed in Yelwata, right?
Yes.
After the massacre that happened in Yelwata. Did he visit Yelwata itself?
No, he did not.
He did not. What was his reasons?
I do not know.
What were his reasons? That the road was bad. The road to Yelwata was bad. How reasonable is that? Excuse me, we have IDPs in the city of Jos. Last month, he came for the burial of the APC, mother of the APC national chairman. Where did he stop? He stopped here at Cooking headquarters. Did he visit any of these IDPs?
No, he did not.
He did not. Did he visit any of the security outposts?
No, he did not.
Did he visit any of the offices of the security?
No, he did
to
not.
actually ginger them to work better?
No, he did not.
So what effort is the government making? I'm still coming, sorry. These troops that have been sent, let me take you back to the days of Muhammadu Buhari when he visited President Trump in 2018, April to be precise, in 2018. When he went there, President Trump told him about the killings of Christians in Nigeria. And what did he say? He assured Trump that things will be better. How better have things been since afterwards?
Not better.
Not better. So what effort again has the government been making? You talked about sending troops. The same troops will tell you they lack manpower. So where are the troops that they are sending? What have these troops done? Bindi community was attacked in the midst of 2 checkpoints. There is a barrack in Mangu local government, an Air Force base there. Should I take you down to the fact that before you get to Bokos itself, you have to pass several checkpoints?
Yes.
Worst on a market day. So how did these people manage to pass with their tools? I mean with their weapons. So what efforts are you saying the government has made? Have you ever seen, okay, we are sacking this person because of the 205 killings that happened in Yelwata, all chiefs have been sacked? Has ever happened in Nigeria?
No, it never happened. Not that I can remember.
There has been no point where heads rolled simply because somebody did not do his job correctly in the security sector. Now, again, you are telling us Constitution does not guarantee, it does not give power to the governor. I don't want to believe it gives power to the governor. But the governor himself, again, is scared. Because
scared of what?
The problem is your subvention comes from the top. There are people that will frustrate it. About 20 states in Nigeria, or about 30 states in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, of the 36 states, including the FCT, 30 of them depend solely on subvention, federal allocation. Many of these states cannot generate 10 billion naira in a month. Many of them, including us on the plateau. And what their hopes are on is on that federal allocation. They don't care whatever it takes, that money must come. Because if it doesn't come, these things you call development for these humans that are being killed every day. The thing is, the human now doesn't even care about the roads anymore. They don't care about the street lights anymore. They just want their life to be safe at first. And what effort are you telling me the government have put? Now, checking at every point where these killings have, I asked you, has anyone been arrested or any heard role? Look at the cases you've heard so far. Look at the presidential pardons you've heard so far. The highest you've heard was repentant Boko Haram. Terrorists coming to have meetings with government officials. And they are coming with weapons. Have you seen those weapons?
Yes,
I mean, you've seen pictures of those
I've
weapons.
seen videos even.
These are weapons that an ordinary security man would not hold on the streets. But somebody who was not trained for that purpose is holding it. Why are you bringing weapons to a peace talk? Do you understand the point?
Peace no go away, make me just
you understand now. So whether we like it or not, I don't think the government has done anything. See,
you don't think you've done anything?
I'm still saying it. I'm standing.
So you think the
standing
government
on my word.
sits and just says, okay, it's fine, let them be
Emeka,
killed.
if people are being killed today, you won't arrest anybody. But if a mob actions happens against these same people, so sorry.
Arrest happens.
Thank you. Arrest happens. And you hear, in fact, the one that happened in Mangu months ago, the man who came to, he said he was sent from Abuja to come to investigate them. How many people have they sent from Abuja to come investigate the killings on the plateau? How many have they sent from Abuja to go investigate the killing in Southern Kaduna? How many have they sent to Yelwata? The president gave an order to the IGP in Benue State and said there must be an arrest. Have they arrested anyone till date?
No, nothing has happened.
They will only tell you 18. Show us the 18, please. Let us see the 18. Let's see their faces. So that tomorrow when we see them, we will know that you arrested them, but they left. Show us. It's what I'm saying. So, what I mean, the government have not done nothing. They've done nothing. Whether you like it or not, these people still. Have you asked yourself, where did these guys get sophisticated weapons from? Who gives them sophisticated weapons? Do you know what it means for one to actually hold a RPG? We're not talking about. I'm sorry, we're not talking about.
Pistol.
I mean a pistol here. RPG. It will destroy more than one vehicle at a time. Even struck. It will destroy a full building at a time, even struck. So what are we saying here, Emeka? Reality check. I don't know how you're trying to say they've sent troops to this one, they've done this one. Have I not sent troops before? It is their duty to send the troops. And once they do that, definitely they know what to do.
All right. Again, I like I said before, if the efforts have been made, we cannot deny the efforts have been made. Whether or not the efforts are enough is a different conversation. I still believe that the government is trying to change the narrative. If the president says to the IGP, let arrests be made, that is him trying to make an effort. If the IGP doesn't make the arrest, we can't say effort has not been made. Again, government cuts across the different sectors, not just the presidency. It is also about the service shades. But overall, I think the government is trying as best as they can. My belief is that there are certain people who do not want this to end. Just within the last few days after Donald Trump issued those threats, we are hearing or we've seen the headquarters of the army put out statements.
I don't want to believe there are people that are more powerful than government that don't want this to end. Oh. Except you're talking about the government themselves.
No. When I say government in this case, I'm saying the presidency. As let's say the president, let me not say the president because I know he has people around him. If the president has said, you guys should fix this, you guys should do this to ensure this is fixed, it's only so much he can do to ensure that these things happen. Plus, you ask whether some people's hearts have rolled when these things happen. I know from experience, not experience like I've been there, from stuff I've read, that you don't just sack people on the whims. There has to be a security review, security report as to what happens. Plus, we also know, and this might not be on record, but we know that the politicizing of Nigerian security architecture ensures that you just don't do anything because you want to. You have to go through certain quarters. There's a bureaucratic process you have to go through. You have to get reports for certain people before certain things are taken. Overall, for me, I think that the government would have to do more. If this threat by the United States president is anything to go by, I'm hoping that it puts fire in the behind of a government to do what they need to do. But for me, I think the government can and should do more. Like a former president of the country said, if insecurity persists for more than 24 hours, some people are benefiting from it. What people these are, I do not know. But I think that it is beyond the presidency. I believe that the president as a person wants this to end. Whether or not those around him and those who he takes advice from want it to end is a different conversation.
Well, I think this is actually one of those times, that one will actually sit and reason a whole lot. Well, we're still trying to reach our guest and to get to talk on this very issue. I think this will surely be rescheduled if it doesn't really work today, because all our hopes was there after the agreement was made. But of course, probably some others actually had an earlier time to get him, and of course, trying to reach here in good time is one thing. I'd love to have this conversation with Reverend Ezekiel Dachumo. We're still trying to see if we could get across to him, via phone call. We're trying our best to see, even if it's the next 10 minutes we'll be having with him on the program. I think it's it. But for Trump, exactly, Nigerians are the reactions of Nigerians are like, does it need to come to Nigeria? Yes, it does. If it would take Trump's threats to make things work effectively, I don't think President Tinubu has it in mind to ever go to the US of A, if not for this very threat that has come. And I love one thing about Donald Trump over the years. For those presidents he has invited, take a look at South African president, take a look at Putin, take a look at Zelensky. He actually had he had evidences. And for Trump to come out to speak, you should know everything was actually put before him. He has all facts, all evidences on ground for him before he could actually go ahead to tweet. He knew about all of these killings in Nigeria. But of course, the voices of some people have made him go back. I don't think the US goes into anything with that, even if it's a biased fact. They have something to hold on to at that very point. But as it stands presently, I don't think we can actually have a system that can work effectively if we don't, I repeat, if we don't tell ourselves some certain truth, Emeka. Does it actually require the US to come for you?
It doesn't. And I think that's where I'm a bit angered that we had to wait for an external body to threaten us to do the right thing for us to try to do the right thing. Like I mentioned, the army headquarters have been posting some victories lately, which is quite shocking because I thought these people were undefeatable. But like you mentioned also, if we need this threat for us to do the right thing, we should. My problem is the wordings of that message doesn't recognize Nigeria as a sovereign nation. And that is where I have a personal issue. Even though we also know that the law does not permit the US of A to invade the country on its whims and caprices and however it wants to, we also know that when it comes to geopolitics and how the world works, laws sometimes are put in the background and people's personal interest and ego takes the fall. I believe that the US, I won't say needs to come into Nigeria. I've expressed my reservations about the US coming into the country, but I'm hoping that the president of Nigeria and the US government will have a roundtable discussion and find ways that the US can help us without impinging on our sovereignty. I'm hoping that the president's visit to the US of A would not be another lie-telling charade, because the thing we've learned with presidents over the years is that when they go to these foreign countries or these Western countries to present our issues before them, they present it in a way that doesn't exactly tell the full story. We also should not forget that the US of A have not exactly been very good to us. Under Goodluck Jonathan, we saw what the US of A did and how they infringed on our sovereignty as a nation in the manipulations and the involvement in the election. So again, the history suggests that the US involvement does not always benefit us as people, but like you mentioned, lives are being lost, and at this point, when we put the lives of people and the supposed resource exploitation that the US of A might come to do for us, some would say, let's just save our lives first. We can talk about that one later. I'm hoping, like I said before, that the meeting between the president of Nigeria and the president of US of A would yield a positive result, that if they are coming to the country, it is not to invade, because that word is very disrespectful to us as a people, no matter how once he says it, but you're coming to help us. And as strong a personality as Donald Trump is, we have laws in the country and laws in the world that should at least be respected.
If I could understand what Trump said, he didn't say he's coming to attack everyone or the Muslims, but instead he said he's coming to attack just the terrorists.
He cannot attack.
Sorry. Hello, good morning, Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo. It's so good to have you via phone call this morning.
Thank you.
I would have loved to have you live in the studio, but of course, another day will surely come for that. Let's get to talk on the issues regarding what exactly has happened. We saw the international community, bringing their attention so close to what is happening in Nigeria. Some weeks ago, you posted a video online when you went, to bury the body of some Christians who were killed in a certain village, and you were so pained by that, and you sought for help. What's your reaction with Donald Trump, the president of the United States, making his own mark on this very statement? Do you have any reaction for this?
My reaction is based on Exodus chapter 3 verse 7. Exodus chapter 3 verse 7, God knows what Israel is passing through in Egypt. And he came out, he said, it's time I will show concern on my people in Egypt. I will come down because I've heard their cry. The we Nigerian Christians will refuse to cry. They are busy killing us. No crying. No voice. People are dying. We are always burying our dead in pain. Nothing the government can do. We have to cry out. That's why the Spirit of God took over my body. He said, you must cry out. I was like others, performing burials. No cry. In Dokona Arawa, over 500. We didn't cry. We just cried for entertainment. We didn't cry to the whole world. We were silent. Even when it's happening in Borno, in other places, we didn't cry. All we run, we have no hope anywhere. But when pressure reached pressure, we went out of ourselves to cry out. We don't even care whether if you give us knife to grab so the float will not take us away. We will grab the knife in order to survive. And this is what is happening in Nigeria today.
All right. I actually.
Nigerian government are not crying. God decided to heart our cry, and Trump says it's time to show concern towards Nigeria, just as God did to show concern towards Israel in Egypt, to bring it out of bondage. We are in bondage. We must cry out.
All right. Reverend, let's look at one of the things you said in that very video where you cried out, just like you said, the international community got to know that. Now, there was something you said, that there was a security meeting a day to that very day, and you mentioned clearly that something like this will happen, and they doubted you. But can you tell us some part of the issues that were discussed on that day that would have actually led for them not wanting to listen to what you said to them?
Do you know what happened? In that meeting, I was not there. The traditional rulers were invited. The Mieti Allah were there. The Habdo was there. And some community leaders. Somebody saw the way the meeting is going. Apart from that, earlier, there was a meeting and they invited community before this one. A day before this one.
Yeah.
So this is come. There's a youth that, in fact, he was very helpful to me. He was able to stop cattle rustling when they brought cows from the Fulani side to connect with some of our boys that are bad, to make away and go and sell the money. They know where they meet. I stood up. We spoke powerfully under the anointing of the Holy Spirit. And this boy gave himself. He started, when he see a strength cow, he would take it back to the Fulani. And this boy was trying his best because God allowed him to bring peace in Barkeladi. So the day they invited him for meeting, inside that meeting, as I was told, I was not there. A Fulani man went out and ignited his machine, motorcycle. He went and stayed at the junction of Barkeladi. When they have finished the meeting, he was going home. The pass, he didn't know, on his motorbike. So the other Fulani man also ignited his motorcycle. He followed. He was phoning. There were two. And they were trying their best to reach home after that meeting of peace meeting. On the way, they killed him. His name is Solomon. They killed him on the way. Very strong. They blow his brain.
So
I have the picture here with me. Live and direct.
So sad.
They went and buried him. The other one was killed too. That same day, they ambushed and they killed. So 2 people were killed that day. After that meeting. Then the following day, based on what has happened, the sectors invited the Fulani both sides. Again, they came. The night, the eve of the massacre of Epan people. When I was there, Then somebody came to my house and said, Daddy, they are doing a meeting in sector. The way I see the Fulani are talking, our people cannot cope up with them. Please come. I have to dress and went straight to the meeting. They have no option. I was not invited. They have no option but allowed me to be in. The Commandant Mangu was there, Bokos and Barkeladi, representative of the GOC was there. Then they were almost at conclusion because they are hurrying to go to somewhere. Then when they are trying to round up, I said, no, I have something to say. They have to allow me. I said, what is happening? You organized a meeting. Fund is under my leadership, spiritually. Rock is under my leadership, spiritually. Where are the clergies involved? But they have their clergy. The Abdo is there, the ruler of them. And the Yeti Allah we are around. Barkeladi. Then they asked me, I asked them, who killed the former Mieti Allah leader of Barkeladi? Because I was in India. I asked the Fulani people, who killed him? Because it's the man that brought peace. He stopped the Fulani from roasting cow that belongs to our indigenous people. And he stopped all the areas of attacking. And the youth were wrecking. He became a stumbling block to them. They end up eliminating him. Then I asked them, who killed that Mieti Allah? Because after you people are taking the position, crisis has started. We no more have peace in the areas. What do you want us to do? I asked the military men, ask them, who killed that man? Why was it that there was no arrest? Imagine if we are the one that killed that Mieti Allah, the whole Nigeria will be on fire.
All right, sir.
So now the question is, after we left, I said, bunch of you are bunch of liars, the Fulani leaders. Both the Yeti at the Hardo. I said, you are liars before the security. They came out and said, in that meeting, that there is one pastor that was telling lies that they have killed many people and not body was killed, only one person. Then I say, I'm the one. The attention was drawn to me. I am the one that made that press release, Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo. Hey, the representative of the GOC. So you are the one we have been looking for. Why do you lie? Because they make a press release against me that I'm a liar. Then I say, you said I'm a liar? I brought two people and you're saying I'm a liar. Okay, follow me right now. Let us go to the area. I will show you their graves. Okay, if you people are busy, you have a meeting somewhere. Select trusted people among the military, the security. Let them follow me. Let me show you evidence, fact finding. And they relapsed. They didn't say it. They continue saying, I've been lying. Let's say they're very lucky. I was about to say, if I'm lying, let me be under curse. And if I'm telling the truth, all of you are under curse. I didn't say that. Why do you want to tell me that I'm a liar? Then we left the meeting, we took photographs, we left. That night, they entered. After our meeting, just about few hours into the dark, they entered the Fulani terrorists, Muslim terrorists. They entered Epang. They killed. And do you know, Epang is one of their agenda because they want to grab the airport. They want to surrender the airport. so that whatever machineries, weapons that will be brought from Arab nation, they'll be able to grab it. So that is why you see Kwi village is around Epang Airport.
Yes. Yes.
One is around Epang Airport. All they are trying to eliminate those villages so that they will come and settle in those villages and control the airport. We know the Islamic agenda. And Nigerian government doesn't know. Or maybe they know they are keeping quiet. The military know what is going on. And we will never allow them to be very close to Epang Airport.
Reverend.
We are giving security to Epang Airport.
Reverend.
Airport.
Good morning,
And
Reverend.
we continue to protect that place.
All right, Reverend.
That's why they are always angry, attacking.
All right.
All right, Reverend. Can you hear me? Good morning, Reverend. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So you've made mention, you've laid accusations several times, not just today, on several of your videos on the military. Do you have evidence to prove that the military are intentionally not protecting your people as they should?
If they were protecting the people, do you think they would be killing people?
The first questions as to them not having enough information.
No, evidence is that my people are dying. Have they present any arrest? Why are they there? Are they not there to protect us? And under their nose, they are killing us. Which evidence do you want? The evidence are the graves. The evidence are the graves. Do you think security are protecting us properly? There will be no mass barrier. The evidence is the graves. Sleeping on duty that led to killing or bargaining with terrorists that led to that killing. It's after the killing, you see them coming one, with their syringe. I think they are buying time. The Fulani terrorists are buying time. Is that not enough evidence?
All right. So quickly, before you go, because we don't really have a lot of time again, we just have less than 1 minute now. But before you go, at this point, do you think the coming of the U.S. will bring a permanent solution to all of these issues?
It may not be a permanent solution.
Okay.
Because these people have vowed they are taking over Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes. Have you ever asked question, why is it that they went into Muslim tickets? Why is it that they brought Chetima, who was the custodian of terrorists in Maiduguri? It's a movement. It's a jihad movement. And the old Christians are daft, including me. We claim we know Christ. We are the soul of the earth. But we have lost our saltiness. We are to preserve Nigeria as Christians. According to Jesus, we are the soul of the earth. But we have lost our saltiness. Khan has lost her saltiness. She went even further to prove that she has lost her test. She cannot give good test to the nation by speaking for the citizens of the nation. So the Islamic are marching on Khan. Khan are useless under Islam. They speak the language of Islam. We are dead. When they said there was no genocide, it's because they think they are talking to illiterate. Where is a Christian in Nigeria, in Asoro? Tinubu is a Muslim. The vice is a Muslim. That is a symbol, a metaphor of complete genocide.
All right.
Christians in Nigeria.
All right, Reverend, I think we can't go further.
Nobody will say anything in Asoro. Nobody will pray in the name of Jesus in Asoro. The number one man cannot pray. That's a genocide to the Christian. And let our eyes be open to see what is happening.
All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, sir. We wish we could go further, but time is our greatest factor now that is holding us back. But sure, we'll have a reschedule of this where you'll be live here to have the whole 1 hour to tell us about, talk more on this very issue. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. And of course, we'll look forward to another rescheduling date.
Thank you.
Yeah, please do have a great day. Yes.
God bless you.
Amen. You too, sir. All right, so this is how we call it a wrap. So sad we could not talk to you on the other divide. We wish we could, but time is not with us. Well, Emeka, I think I was just call it a wrap. Many thanks for joining. Don't forget, go out there. There are other political parties there, not just one. Of course, make yourself the choices. See the 18 political parties. Mind the one with the best ideology and work with. And also, they should do well to make themselves better. My name is Richard Bado.
My name is Chukwemeka Daniel Messi. It has been good to be here. Like I always say, forgive your oppressors,
But don't
forget what they did to you.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, 0. Welcome to the Dome. Playing non-stop hits. This is
JFM 101.9.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with the new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to...
That's right. The only tomato brand to win this award by the federal government of Nigeria. So eat healthy to live longer. Endorsed by the Association of Nigerian Private Medical Practitioners.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so